Hi, everybody. This is Shivo and D. Fran here tonight for Good, the podcast for those that do. All right. Tonight, the topic of the episode is gut instincts, trusting your gut, and that kind of mentality. So,
Right.
going through some
Well,
thoughts from
just
some
that
wise
the
people.
side note there is that it plays into March Madness,
It
right?
certainly
Like,
does.
when you look at the bracket, you're looking at that, and you're saying, hey, like, what's your gut instinct? Oh, I think Yale is going to beat Baylor, or I think Duke's going to lose in the first round.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you have your gut instinct that carries it home, and you touched on that. I think that's the main gist where you're getting at, but
Right. The gut instinct and what you're feeling and making a decision based on that feeling. Conveniently enough, this is being recorded on the night of this first round or the Sweet 16. So
let's go through.
go Villanova.
Oh yeah, go Villanova. I tell people out here I root for Villanova because
Yeah, it's Philly.
no one really likes Duke.
Yeah, true. All right, so the first thing I'm going to get into is something I heard on a YouTube video from a guy named Paul Chek. Paul Chek is kind of a guru on holistic medicine and kind of this whole body approach to healing and taking care of your body. And if you ever see the guy, he is probably in his upper 50s, but he is just carved out of stone and is probably one of the healthiest
Just
people.
yoked.
Just not, I wouldn't say yoked, but he doesn't have an ounce of fat on him.
I know what you're saying, like old guy jacked.
Old guy
like,
jacked, yeah.
Yeah, where like the pecs don't look right because they've been weathered for so long. That that you
Exactly.
could probably throw a punch and like put it through a brick wall.
Exactly. This guy
so
has
that one strigly vein in his bicep looks like it's probably been poked by a needle a couple of times.
no, this guy's got a very unique approach on the body and on healing and on performance, and he's got a lot of really good ideas that in like the Western medicine doesn't really last. He's got a really big Eastern medicine, the mindset. Your dad would probably like him a lot.
Nice.
But so in this video, Paul Chek was referencing a work done by a guy named Arnold Patton, and he wrote a list of universal principles. So in the video, Paul outlined universal principle number 13, understanding the body and physical signal. And so it reads, I respect and understand the spontaneous communication of the body. I listen to my body and I comprehend the meaning conveyed from the higher mind to my rational mind via the automatic body signals. Our human body is a finely tuned instrument. It tells us at all times just how aligned we are with our purpose and with the universe. When we notice discomfort in our bodies, it is helpful to look for ways we are withholding love and expressing. Learn to read your body consistently, for it reveals your state of consciousness. And so this idea, I think initially it can kind of seem like there's no connection, but I think it does a pretty good job explaining how your body is going to be aware of the situation that you're in. And that's what that gut feeling is. That gut feeling is you just know what's right. You know what to do in a situation. You just have that instinct. And what this universal principle is saying is that you need to be able to read your body consistently. And if you can understand what your body is trying to tell you, you'll be able to make that gut decision, and you'll be able to make that gut decision every time. And it should work out well for you.
No, yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I think that's, you're right. That's right down my dad's alley of something he would like.
Yeah, certainly. And then the next piece that I have is from a guy I've mentioned before, Elliot Hulse. He says, trust your gut. Trust requires courage. In order to trust, you need to let go of the things around you, the opinions and the choices of others, and allow it to happen. It takes courage to let go and yield to trust in yourself and in others. If you don't trust your own gut, your own heart, and you listen to others, they will lead you down their path. It won't be yours. The subconscious mind will guide. The gut and the heart will tell you what to do. So again, this is listening to your body and listening to your heart and allowing your body to guide you through what could be a tough decision. Because subconsciously, your brain knows what to do and your body knows what to do, and you might be in your own head thinking about a decision too much, or thinking about, maybe you've got a tough personal decision to make, whether you need to move 1,000 miles away to take a new job and leave some family and some friends and a girlfriend behind, or maybe you could stay home and have all that but not have a better job. And you need and you might be in your own head too much with that decision. You might be thinking about too many factors when deep down you know what you need to do. You just need to listen to your heart, your gut, and that's what's going to help you make that decision, make the right decision.
Yeah, it sounds like you're talking to someone that you know.
I might need to listen to some of my own advice, huh?
I just everyone just excuse Shadow for a moment. He's just kind of giving himself a little pep talk here because it sounds like it's right down your alley.
Oh man!
So what's the solution, big guy? Tell us.
You need to.
You gotta go with your gut.
You know what you need to do. At the end of the day, I really believe that, and you need to just listen to what your body is telling you, whether your body is telling you to go take a risk, and that risk might be rewarding, or it's telling you to play it safe, and that might keep you safe in maybe a little bit more of a dangerous situation, not a do I want to move for a job situation, but maybe like a combat situation or something like that. Trust your gut and do what's going to keep you safe rather than what could kill you. It's decisions like that you need to just trust in yourself and trust that you're going to know what to do, because you will.
Brings up a great point about when, sometimes whether or not there's facts behind it, or whether or not it's something that is random, you get a gut instinct from something. And I was thinking about, what's a situation where you wouldn't get a gut instinct, like a gut feeling?
Right.
And the only time I could think of something is when you're not really passionate about something. I don't really have a gut instinct on, what's going to happen in, I don't know. I can't really think of an example because it doesn't really matter. But there's things, if you're not passionate about something, you don't have a gut instinct about it. So that can kind of tell you something, is that, hey, if I care about something, whether or not I care about isn't going to determine if I'm right or wrong. And that's the same thing with gut instinct. Sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But if you're passionate about something and care about something, I think your gut instinct is a good indicator that it's something that it's worth pursuing if you have an instinct on it, or that type of feeling.
Right, yeah. It's going to lead you in the right direction. It's going to put you on the right path. Very good. Very good. I like it. All right, so tonight we're going to start a new little segment on the podcast. D-Friend and I are each going to offer up a read of the week, something interesting that we can get you guys some better content, and supplement this podcast with some good reading. My read of the week, I already kind of mentioned it, is The Universal Principles by Arnold Patent. It's pretty quick. It's about 16 little bullet points, just universal principles about life and just different ideas and concepts that I found via this guy, Paul Chek. So you can just look that up on Google, Arnold Patent, Universal Principles, and there'll be a couple of PDFs that pop up, and you can just download it, read it wherever you want, print it out, keep it forever, and enjoy it.
Perfect. So I have two reads. Barack Obama wrote The Audacity of Hope. So it's his second book. His first one was, and the most famous one was Dreams from My Father. That was one that kind of like put him on the map as a writer, and someone kind of got him sort of towards the Senate and that type of deal. So he came out with his second book, closer to him being in the Senate and actually getting elected and their stuff. And the first three chapters of it are, the first one's called Republicans and Democrats. The second one's called Values. And the third one is called Our Constitution. I think 3 chapters of a book is not that difficult to read. I think all in it's 100 pages. it's not Democrat, it's not Republican. It's just really interesting to read those 3 chapters of that book. And I think now more than ever, especially in this time, with the election coming up in the end of this year, those 3 chapters could really help you understand a lot more about what we're seeing in politics, what we see on the news versus what you see or read in the paper versus what you see in the streets. Just a great book, and I read it a long time ago, and I just picked it up again. And I'm glad I did. So that was a side note. The cool read is how to make your Twitter actually useful. Wall Street Journal came out with this article, I believe it was last week. So, first of all, I love the Wall Street Journal. It's really good publication. Kind of got some really good stuff. I think its owner is pretty relatively not as nice, but my favorite stuff is pretty good. Anyway, it talked a lot about how Twitter's a great place to go to follow things you like, get inspired by things you want to be inspired by, and share and sort of build a little community off of interests or passions or ideas, expertise. And I think you could say that. Is it fair to say that you have some athletic training friends as Twitter followers or that you follow?
Certainly, 100%.
Of course, and I do the same thing. I follow financial advisors and I follow different types of investors and stuff like that.
Right.
And at the same time, sports players and those things dominate my feed as well. But have you ever looked at? I mean, I'd say 75% of what I post on Twitter is a retweet or like a quote of a tweet.
Same. So that's all. Pretty much
and
all I do
very,
nowadays.
very, very, very small majority of what I post. I'd say 80-20 almost. Very small majority is actual my content.
Right. I agree.
When I see that content, it's relatively boring. Maybe sometimes it's funny. But a lot of times it's, man, just saw a Kentucky Fried Chicken in the middle of nowhere. It's like, in my head, when I'm driving by, I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty cool, Mike. I think, wow, it's crazy. But no one else has that experience, right? So you can't really relate. So this article talks a lot about how, you don't really concentrate so much on what you tweet, and sometimes you end up just doing a little live journal of yourself or a live blog of yourself.
Right.
So the problem number one is, what is Twitter for anyway? Facebook and Instagram have pretty defined Instagram is for pictures. Facebook is for friends. Even LinkedIn is for business and for colleagues. Twitter is a little bit of an in-between of almost all 3, and it doesn't. And I think the user itself, maybe you and myself included, gets mixed up in that. I think the article cites the way the Kardashians use it is a lot different the way than Bill Clinton or someone else would use it. But maybe Bill Clinton's not a good name to throw around the Kardashians. So. I just think it's a good article to read. It was written, again, it's March 16th, mentioned on the Wall Street Journal. Joanna Stern is who wrote it. And really the 3 problems that she talks about. The first one was, what is Twitter for anyway? The second problem is, who do I follow and how do I keep up? The third problem with Twitter that she had was, how do I use this thing? Like with the @ signs and the hashtags, retweets, DMs, quotes. A lot of everything's pretty abbreviated. Who am I supposed to talk to? Like, do you talk back to someone when they tweet at you? And, kind of the dilemma of that. And I think, maybe that's something that we need to tell Jocko about. Like, hey, he does a pretty good job of getting back to.
He gets back
to me every time.
He's gotten back to me, I don't know, every day for the last week or so.
Jocko, if you're listening, buddy, appreciate that. Man, so this was a pretty productive. For those that don't know, which is everyone except me and Shivo and our good friend Brian Turner, we got some music on that. So that's what you heard in the beginning, a little bit of an intro. That's going to change periodically. And wait till you hear this outro. Beastie Boys inspired. Mike D and the Beastie Boys.
That's right.
Always represent. Mike D. Shivo. So really excited about that. I think over the next couple of weeks, we're going to come out with some pretty cool episodes, pretty cool things to take home, things to work on. So stay tuned. Keep your ears out. Shivo, you got anything to close this bad boy out?
Thanks for listening. You can reach out to us, questions, comments, concerns on Twitter. On Twitter, Instagram, at Mike Chavone, at MDFran. The email is podcastgood@gmail.com. And then our guy, Brian Turner, made our music. You can look him up on iTunes under the name Brian Maxwell. So go out there, download his stuff. He's a good friend out in Kansas City getting after it. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on Good.